And so that's why we're really excited about the investment we made. I had a chance to meet Prime Minister Modi yesterday and discuss our excitement about, in fact, the last time I met the Prime Minister, we talked about sort of the skilling, and he said, for a country of India's size, that's not enough. And so we said, okay, this time around, let's double down. And so we have now we are committing to skill 20 million people across India in AI skills. And so we are very excited about this. In fact, talking about skilling, to that end, we're building out Azure as the world's computer. In fact, right here in India, we're thrilled about sort of all the data center capacity that is coming live. We already have stuff in Pune and in Chennai and Mumbai. And we're very excited of the India South Central, which is in Hyderabad, that's going to come up next year. And so this is going to be the next big data center region for us, which is going to be scaled very rapidly. One of the things we're very proud of is it's 100% renewable power. And so it's great to see us thinking about the tokens per dollar per watt with sustainability as a front and center priority. And not only are we building all this infrastructure, but we're also building it with real sovereignty controls, right? Because sovereignty is a super important topic. Everyone wants to make sure that they can control both the control plane, the data plane, and the application tier. And so we are building multiple options. There's the public cloud with sovereignty option. There is the private cloud option. There is, in fact, work we've done with various partners in here to be able to offer these private cloud options. And of course, we have even the Geo Azure region, which is operated by an Indian partner in that case. So we have all of these options. We're also excited about that Copilot now has all of its data processing happening in India. So it's no longer about any of the data going outside of the country. So we have local data processing happening for Copilot. So that's another big step we have taken to ensure the sovereignty of all of these services. But one of the other elements that I think is important for people to recognize is that with sovereignty, you also want to ensure world-class cybersecurity and cyber resilience. And when it comes to cyber, it's an intelligence game. It's a signals game. So that means you want to see the global intelligence that Microsoft, for example, has on all threat actors, but bring it to bear even in your sovereign environment, right? Because if you're disconnected from the global intelligence, then all you have is a weak solution, even if it is sovereign, because it will really get penetrated. So the question is, how do you keep sovereignty and cyber resilience essentially in balance? Is one of the most important underinvested, under-talked about things in any policy circle. So I would sort of really emphasize that. We have the menu of options. You can take a risk-based approach to say which workload should go where, and then how do you balance it out with having access to global intelligence? It's kind of like you really don't want to fight a cyber war without the global intelligence at your disposal. And so that's why we're really excited about the investment we made. I had a chance to meet Prime Minister Modi yesterday and discuss our excitement about, and it's fantastic to see this all landing and ultimately being able to parlay these tokens per dollar per watt into all of the application systems that are going to get deployed broadly across the country. And so the $17.5 billion, which is the largest investment we made in Asia to date, and so we're thrilled about it. And so I wanted to close again, though, with where I started, which is our mission is to empower every person and every organization in this country to be able to achieve more. That means skilling. In fact, the last time I met the Prime Minister, we talked about sort of the skilling, and he said, for a country of India's size, that's not enough. And so we said, okay, this time around, let's double down. And so we have now we are committing to skill 20 million people across India in AI skills. And so we are very excited about this. In fact, talking about skilling, it was wonderful meeting with the Minister of Labor as well as the Secretary of Labor today and hearing from them their enthusiasm for the systems they are building around e-Shram, which is fantastic, right? It's about taking the unorganized sector in this country and bringing them to meet the demand in the economy, such that they can pick up the skills, get the economic opportunity. It's one of the most inspiring public systems, public sector systems, because it takes the people who need the most help and bring them the most competitiveness. I think it's more reflective of, where India is going with this era of technology. In fact, if I had to characterize it, it's perhaps I've come to India in each of the eras, right? From the PC to client server to the web internet to the cloud mobile. And whereas there is no difference in terms of the rate of diffusion of technology when it comes to the AI era. And so the question now, of course, is how are we going to, in this country, take advantage of all of this to really change the outcomes for both the citizens and the organizations throughout the length and breadth as well. In fact, people who have studied historical technological waves and said which countries, which companies, which communities got ahead were not people who created the leading tech. Were really people who adopted the leading tech the fastest to create more leading tech, right? That's kind of the definition of it. Yeah. Because if you start just using, first of all, if you don't have the leading tech in the country, then that's a problem. But if you even had leading tech in the country, but you just talked about it or just consumed it, but didn't use it to create other leading tech, you then further fall behind. So that's why this idea of impact that you picked for the summit. And the fact that the world is sort of, quote unquote, all starting from the same place. It's not like the models, the 1,100 models that I talked about are all available to every Indian organization as they are to every worldwide organization. So therefore, I think what you all are doing to sort of motivate that sense of agency, ambition, activity to have impact should be the absolute rallying cry. And I'm really inspired by that. And speaking of that, one of the other things that I had a chance to talk with the Prime Minister yesterday was, one thing that India has done very uniquely is somehow brought together a virtuous cycle from the policies, the programs, the technology stack, and the Indian market. Right? It's the private sector participating fully, right? Whether it's in payments, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in insurance. It's tremendous to see that virtuous cycle. It's not about any one thing. In fact, Bill loves the India stack, and he always asks me, can I take the India stack and put it somewhere else? And I say, you can't take the India stack by itself. You've got to take the entire thing.